Hello again, welcome again to a new class, to class number 105. Okay, we're making progress, slowly but surely. We're making progress in the right way. Okay, vísteme despacio que tengo prisa is an interesting Spanish expression, but I think it's a very good expression because if you go too fast, you can be precipitated and make mistakes. We need to make sure, asegurarnos, we need to make sure that every step we take is a solid step in the right direction, and that we're not forgetting anything essential, and that we are properly practicing and exposing you to these different basic structures that you must know really well, actively, not passively, actively. Active knowledge and active skill or ability with a language means simply that you can actively use in an effective way the structures of a language that allow you to articulate your speech and to make good communication. So, you must never underestimate the power and the importance of basic grammar. Basic grammar that you think you know, but that you don't. You must have an active ability, an active reproduction ability with the basic grammar in the negative, in the interrogative, and in the affirmative, and in the present tense, in the past tense, in the future tense, and basically in the present perfect tense. Those four tenses. And then the modal verbs can, could, may, should, must. Okay? You have to have active mastery of these basic verbs, basic structures. And you don't. You think you do, many of you think you do, but you don't. Because you think you know them. Esto es el verbo to have otra vez, macho. Desde los 13 años estoy con el dichoso verbo to have. Pues demostradme una agilidad oral activa bárbara con ese verbo y te lo creo. Si no, no. Okay. Camera one. All right. Are you ready? Are you ready to review? Let's review. Let's go over the 2 points on class 104. And seeing that you're here, and viste que estás, seeing that you're here, then let's start. And seeing that you're willing to go back and review, then let's go back and review. And seeing that you're a humble person, willing to follow my instructions, then I will give you some instructions. And seeing that you're enjoying this program and this class and this course, seeing that you are enjoying this course and benefiting from it, then I will continue to do my best to help you. And seeing that you are talking to other people about this program, then maybe I'll even give you a discount, okay? Seeing that. Now, every day I teach. Every day I teach a class. Every day I teach a class. At least one. Really, every day I teach 3 classes. A beginner's class, an intermediate class, and an advanced class on 4.0. Every day I teach 3 classes. Yesterday I taught 3 classes. And so far this week I have taught 3 classes every day. Entonces, en la última frase he dicho every day, pero he dicho I have taught. Porque estoy diciendo cada día en lo que va de semana hasta hoy, inclusive, y mañana seguiré. Ok, porque this week es un periodo de tiempo abierto, en vigor todavía. Uso el presente perfecto, I have. Se llama en inglés presente perfecto, en español pretérito perfecto. Okay, and I have spoken to Maria every day this week. I spoke to her yesterday. I have spoken to her today. And I have spoken to her every day this week. All right? Right now I'm using the same cup as usual to drink water. I'm using the same cup as usual to drink water. The same one. I have been using this cup since the beginning of this course. I used it, pasado simple, last week. Every day I used it last week, and every day I have used it this week. I have used it, presente perfecto, this week, porque this week no terminó. Yeah. I showed you this cup yesterday. I showed it to you last week. I showed it to you every day last month, probably. And I have shown it, I have shown it to you every day this week. El presente perfecto exige this, no last. No va con last, no lo puedes usar. In Spanish, here in Spain, often you say, lo he usado ayer. But that's not correct English, lo usé ayer. Lo he usado hoy, porque hoy sigue en vigor. Okay, I have used this cup. I have shown you this cup every day this week. I have pointed at you. I have pointed at the camera, you, every day this week. I pointed at you yesterday. I pointed at you the day before yesterday. And I pointed at you every day last week. And today I have pointed at you twice. A few seconds ago and now. I've pointed at you twice. And tomorrow I'll probably point at you again. Now I haven't pointed at you with both hands today. Not yet. Maybe in a few minutes I'll point at you with both hands. But I haven't pointed at you yet. Now last week I pointed at you with both hands, I think once only. Yeah. Now what am I doing? Richard, you're pointing at me with both hands. Good. And now, am I still pointing at you? No, you're not pointing at me anymore. Have I finished? Yes, you have finished. But have I pointed at you today with both hands? Yes, you have. How many times have I pointed at you with both hands so far today? So far today, Richard, you have pointed at me with both hands only once. Okay, I'll be back in a few minutes.
Hello everyone. Hi, ¿qué tal? How are you today? I'm Hannah, and I'm here with you today to start your class right with a review. Como ya sabéis, siempre empezamos la clase o el programa repasando, right? Resumiendo la clase anterior. So here we are with me and my student Luca. Hi, Luca.
Hi, how are you?
Great. How are you today?
Fine, thank you.
Okay, are you ready for today's review?
Yes, I hope so.
Yes, okay. Okay, here we go. We're going to review. Vamos a repasar. We're going to review the expression seeing as. Okay, seeing as o también seeing that o también simplemente seeing. Okay, que significa en vista de que o ya que. It's a synonym, un sinónimo a la palabra since, ¿vale? So, I'm going to give you a sentence, te doy una frase, y I want you to change the sentence using the expression seeing as, ¿vale? Elegimos seeing as, aunque hay tres, okay? We won't go out because he has a cold.
Since as
Seeing as,
seeing as he had a cold,
he has.
he has a cold, we won't go out.
Okay, perfect. Repeat again. Great.
Seeing as he has a cold, we won't go out.
Okay, very good, great. So, repito la frase. So, I said, we won't go out because he has a cold. And Lucas said, seeing as, right? En vista de que, or ya que. Seeing as he has a cold, we won't go out. Okay, another example. We'll study this expression because you don't know it.
Seeing as we don't know,
Seeing as I
seeing, seeing as I don't know the expression, we will
We'll
study.
it. Okay, good. Repeat again.
Seeing as I don't know the expression, we will study it.
Okay, very good. Okay, so let me repeat again. We'll study this expression because you don't know it, because you don't know it. So, cambiamos usando seeing as, ya que, or en vista de que. Seeing as you don't know the expression, or I don't know the expression, lo que ha dicho, I don't know the expression. We'll study it. Dame la contracción. We will, contraemos. Will. Let me hear you, Luca. Will.
Will.
Okay, good again. Will.
Will.
Okay, great. So we will, with the contraction, sounds exactly the same as rueda, wheel. They sound exactly the same. Okay, another example. We'll go to Italy for our next vacation because we know people there.
Seeing as we know people in Italy, we'll go there on vacation.
Okay, good, great, very good. So seeing as we know people in Italy, we'll go there on our next vacation or on our next holiday. Okay, very good, great. So expression again, it's seeing as, en vista de que o ya que. Otra vez sinónimo a since. Okay, now we're going to practice the expression this morning, esta mañana. So remember with this morning, esta mañana, usamos pretérito perfecto, present perfect, si la mañana todavía no ha acabado, si todavía es por la mañana. Pero si ya es por la tarde o por la noche, ¿qué tiempo verbal usamos?
Pasado.
Exactly. Pasado simple, porque ya pasó ese periodo de tiempo. For example, have you fought with your neighbor this morning? Todavía es por la mañana.
No, I haven't fought with my neighbor yet.
Oh, this morning.
Oh, this morning.
Yes, okay, good. So vamos a practicar la expresión this morning.
This morning.
Sí, quedamos con
Sorry.
this morning. Okay, muy bien. So, no, I haven't fought with my neighbor this morning. O afirmativo. Yes, I've fought with my neighbor this morning. So remember, fought también, we have pasado is fought. Participio pasado también is fought. And because todavía es por la mañana, usamos pretérito perfecto, present perfect. Yes, I've fought with my neighbor this morning. Another example. Did you hear your neighbor's dog this morning? It's already in the afternoon now. Ahora ya es por la tarde.
Yes, this morning I heard my neighbor's dog.
Okay, great. Muy bien. So here Luca used pasado simple, porque ya es por la tarde. So dame pasado simple. Yes, I heard my neighbor's dog this morning. Heard, el pasado de hear. Did you sleep on the train this morning? Es por la noche ya.
Yes, I slept on the train this morning.
Muy bien, very good. So ya es por la noche. It's already nighttime. Entonces usamos pasado simple. Yes, I slept. Pasado simple de sleep is slept. Yes, I slept on the train this morning. Okay. Have you heard the radio this morning? Y todavía es por la mañana.
Yes, I have heard the radio this morning.
Contracción.
Yes, I've heard the radio this morning.
Muy bien, very good. Yes, I've heard the radio this morning. Present perfect. Okay, great job, Luca. Thank you at home and keep practicing. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Okay. Must. Obligación. Obligación impuesta por imperativo moral más que por obligación externamente impuesta. I must find a way to improve my teaching. I'm not completely satisfied with my quality of teaching, and it's starting to bother me. Bother is molestar. It's starting to bother me, and so I really must find a way to improve my teaching. I must find a way to come here earlier. I start here to record programs at 3:15, and it's a problem for me because by 8 o'clock when Maria has to leave, I haven't finished the number of programs I prefer to record. So really, I must find a way to get here earlier. I must find a way to get here earlier. Aquí estoy usando más como debo por todos los medios. Eso es must. Deber por todos los medios. Debo por todos los medios, porque se entiende que es una obligación autoimpuesta. Okay, una urgencia personal mía que es mi problema. Now I have to find a way to come here earlier. Da la impresión un poquito de que alguien o alguna circunstancia externa me lo obliga. Okay? So, but there's another meaning for must, very important. And it's una suposición, una conclusión lógica. Ese hombre conduce un Rolls, entonces debe de ser rico, o debe de ser un chofer. Okay? He must be. Y esto no tiene nada que ver con obligación. Y es curioso, en español también usáis deber, yo debo ser, okay? Él debe ser más cortés con la gente. O sea, eso es obligación moral. Ahora, debe de ser, normalmente añadís la palabra de cuando es suposición lógica. Debe de ser rico. Está llevando un fajo de billetes de 1.000 euros. Debe de ser rico. Eso es conclusión lógica. Y es curioso, en inglés usamos must para ambos, obligación moral y conclusión lógica, que no tienen nada que ver el uno con el otro. En español también usáis deber. A veces la Real Academia creo que dice que es deber de. ¿Ok? La mesa está mojada. Alguien debe de haber tirado al agua. Debe de haber tirado. ¿Ok? And in English it's the same. Camera number 1. Logical conclusion. Maria is sweating. Sudando. She's sweating. No me extraña, with these lights. It must be hot. Debe hacer mucho calor en ese estudio. Can you see me? Can you see me sweating here? I'm sweating on my upper lip. I'm sweating. Ugh. Yeah. And so you say, whoa, pobre Richard. Debe de pasarlo mal. He must have a bad time. He must be very, very hot. I don't know how he does it every day for 3 hours. Beginners, intermediate, and advanced in that. And he's wearing this sweater. He must be really hot. Yeah, he must be really, really hot. And Maria, my God, poor Maria, she must be so bored. Debe de estar aburridísima. The poor girl, she simply sits, waiting for the last minute before she stands up and gives me the time. And in the meantime, she doesn't do anything. She sits in a chair and waits. And sometimes she starts to fall asleep. Once, I had to say through the microphone to Jorge, I said, Jorge, she's sleeping. She's going to start snoring. Y se oirá el ronquido. And we'll have to repeat the entire class because Maria was starting to snore. So, she's laughing. Okay, so you would say, poor Maria. It must be really hard to be a floor manager on a program like Richard's show. My God, it must be boring. Richard does everything. He simply looks at the camera and talks. What does Maria do? Nothing. She doesn't have to do anything. Simply the first 20 seconds and the last minute. So she works for 1 minute and 20 seconds. The rest of the time, she's reading Lola, Semana, 10 minutos, pronto. She doesn't like that, okay. But in any case, so she must be bored. Really. This class must be boring. It's not boring for me because I have to use my mind, I have to think, I have to improvise, I have to do a lot of things. Digo have to porque realmente es una obligación externa impuesta, la necesidad de improvisar. No es una obligación moral que me autoimpongo. Yo, como por todos los medios, tengo que improvisar como sea. No, I have to improvise. So for me, it's not boring because my mind is constantly functioning. My mind is constantly working. But for Maria, my God, and for you, for other people, it must be unbearable, insoportable. It must be unbearable to sit and watch. You know, the light technician, the sound technician, the mixer, they're just sitting in the control room in the Palomar, just looking. Maybe they're improving their English, but they're waiting for me to finish. And they're simply listening in case there's a sound problem, watching in case there's a lighting problem, looking at my face in case there's a makeup deficiency or something on my face. And Maria's sleeping. So everybody is just bored. So this must be, debe de ser una clase aburridísima para los técnicos. It must be. This must be a very boring class. Yeah. And English must be difficult because nobody learns it. I've been teaching English in Spain for 35 years. Long time, eh? Too long, in my opinion. I've been teaching English for 35 years. And I have met really very few people who have learned my language well with my help. So English must be difficult. For me, it's very easy. For me, English is very easy. Yeah. I could speak English when I was 2 years old. It was so easy for me. But it must be difficult for you. It must be a difficult language to learn. Yeah. Debe ser difícil aprender inglés. Con lo fácil que es. Yeah. Para mí, al menos, for me. And for you, Spanish? Spanish must be easy for you, but for me it's tough. Spanish is difficult. A foreign language is always difficult, okay, a foreign language. And so English must be difficult too. I imagine Russian must be really difficult. Russian must be really tough. And I imagine German must be difficult. But I imagine that Chinese must be impossible. To learn Chinese must really be difficult. Must. Logical conclusion. Now, Maria is counting down, so it must be time to take a break for our sponsors. But I'll be back in a few minutes. I must be crazy. You know, I don't know why. I come here every day and I record, grabo, I record 3 hours of class and sometimes 6. I record 3 hours of class for today's class or tomorrow's class, plus another 3 hours of backup class just in case there's a problem. Okay? If later in post-production, se hace postproducción de esto, later in post-production, if there's a problem, then este segmento no nos vale. And so I have to record the same class twice. Can you believe it? I must be crazy. That's the only explanation. Me teaching English for 35 years, solo un loco hace eso. I must be crazy. That's my only conclusion. My only conclusion is the following. I must be crazy. But the world would be worse without some crazy people. Okay, I'll see you after our next teacher.
Thank you, Richard. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this part of the show where we put into practice everything that Richard has just taught you, okay? We're going to carry on looking at must, this auxiliary verb must, okay? Which, as you well know, we use when we make deductions, okay? When we deduce things. Carmen is with me today. Carmen, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
Good. Are you full of energy?
Full of energy.
Full of beans?
Full of beans.
Fantastico. Okay, must. We use this when we're deducing things. ¿Qué significa to deduce something?
Deducir algo.
Sí, exactamente. The same as in Spanish, okay? When you deduce something, when you assume something, when you take something for granted. Yeah, for example, imagine I tell you I haven't slept for a week.
You must be tired.
Exactly. Carmen assumes that I must be tired, okay? Must, el auxiliar, seguido siempre del verbo básico, okay? You must be tired, okay?
Yeah.
En español sería, debes de estar muy cansado.
Muy cansado.
¿No? Okay? You must be tired. Poor thing, pobrecito. Decimos en inglés, pobre cosa, poor thing, para pobrecito. No vale con solo decir poor.
No.
Eso es raro, okay? The poor son los pobres. The poor, con el artículo, okay? Good. Let's try again, and everybody at home, please take part actively, okay? This is all about interacting with your TV and making a fool of yourself in front of your family, okay? And if you like, get every single member of your family to do it. Doesn't matter if they're doing the course or not. Everybody, la abuela, el tío Juan, los primos, todo el mundo en casa, gritando a la pantalla. Okie dokie. She hasn't drunk water for 48 hours. Ella no ha bebido agua en 48 horas. What do we deduce?
She must be thirsty.
She must be thirsty. Okay. Muy bien. Vamos a cambiarlo. She hasn't drunk water for 6 years.
She must be exhausted.
Peor.
There.
She must be
Dead.
yeah. Fantastic. She hasn't drunk water for 6 years. She must be dead. Debe de estar muerta. Claro. Muy bien. It's 5 degrees outside. Okay. It's 5 degrees outside, and Kevin is outside wearing only a t-shirt. What do we deduce?
He must be frozen.
He must be frozen. También decimos he must be freezing.
Freezing.
Okay, you can say he must be freezing, debe estar congelado, or he must be frozen. Significa lo mismo. Debe estar helado. Muy bien, the next one. Imagine, Carmen, you invite me to a party at your house.
Okay.
And suddenly you hear me arrive in my helicopter. Okay, so here I come in, and I come down and land in your garden. What do you deduce?
You must be rich.
Muy bien. You must be rich, or you must
be filthy rich.
filthy rich, asquerosamente rico. Okay, filthy means es como muy sucio para en el sitio de guarro. Lo que son los niños cuando se embarran, ¿no? en el suelo. Okay, you've got filthy hands. Yo lo digo a mi chico siempre.
Ah, yeah.
Come on, wash your hands. They're filthy.
Yeah.
Okay, your filthy hands. Tus manos asquerosas. Tus manos están asquerosas. Your hands are filthy. Pero filthy rich means asquerosamente rico. Vamos, forrado. Forrado también se dice. Vale, aquí llego otra vez en mi helicóptero. Ahora a tu casa. Elena, ahí en Sevilla. Elena, ¿qué deduces? Eso es, you must be loaded.
Loaded.
Okay, forrado, loaded. Literalmente, cargado.
Cargado.
Muy bien. The next one. My son never studies. Pues debe estar de ser
He
muy
must be
flojo.
lazy.
Exactly, he must be lazy. Muy bien. My son never studies, so he must be lazy. Lazy es flojo o
Perezoso.
perezoso. Exactly,
Vago.
lazy, vago. Okay, he's lazy. L-A-Z-Y. Okay, Carmen. Obviously, there are only 2 of us in this room. Okay?
Yeah.
Bueno, no es verdad, pero que los demás lo veis. Bien. So there's only 2 of us in this
Yes.
room, and I say, Carmen, this pen, this Vaughan pen, is not mine. Entonces tú dices, pues debe ser mío, entonces.
It must be mine.
Exactly, it must be mine then. Entonces, it must be mine then. Okay? There are only 2 of this in this room, and I say, Carmen, this mug isn't yours. So,
This must be yours.
it must be yours. Fantastic. It must be yours. Debe de ser tuyo. Okay? Let's imagine now that there are 3 of us, okay, in this room. Okay? And I say to you, this pen isn't mine. And it isn't Juan's either.
It must be hers.
It's not Juan's, so it's yours.
It must be, okay. It must be mine.
Good. Now, this pen is not mine and it's not yours. No es mío ni el de Carmen.
It must be hers.
Hers, si es de ella. Si está Juana, it must be hers. ¿Ok? Si estamos aquí los 3, tú, yo y Juan, ¿cómo sería? It must be,
Ours.
bueno, de todos, o de él.
Ah, okay. It must be his.
Carmen, es que Carmen es muy hippie hoy. Okay, so it must be ours. Vamos a compartir. Let's share everything. Okay, it must be ours. Okay, muy bien. Okay, let's say here we are. Carmen, myself, Juan, and Juana. Okay,
Yeah.
and Carmen, this mug of peace, la taza de la paz, isn't ours. It's not mine or yours. Pues pertenece a ellos. Porque son pareja, ¿no?
It must be theirs.
It must be theirs, okay? We assume, we deduce, it must be theirs. Don't forget, a little point on the pronunciation of must. We don't say must, it's must. Okay, watch my mouth. como dijo George Bush, padre, no, read my lips, ¿ok? Must, must. Hay que bajar la mandíbula. Must. Es un sonido que no existe en español. It doesn't exist in Spanish, does it? This sound. Must.
Must.
Carmen lo hace genial. Fantástico. Muy bien. Okay, Carmen, I tell you, I phoned my brother today to tell him I couldn't go to his wedding. Pues debe estar un poco decepcionado.
Yes. He must be disappointed.
Okay, he must be disappointed or disgustado. He must be
Upset.
good. He must be upset. I told him I can't go to his wedding. Yeah? So he must be upset, Carmen assumes. Okay, now I phoned my other brother and I told him that I had stolen his car. Le dije que había robado su coche.
He must be very angry.
He must be very angry. He is very angry. It's
Yes.
true. Okay, now I'm being told I have 10 seconds left. So
Sorry?
I have 10 seconds left. I have 7 seconds left.
Okay.
So we must
We must be in a hurry.
be out of time.
Okay.
Tenemos que estar ya sin más minutos para explicar las cosas. Thanks very much. See you very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay, list 31, translation list, camera 1. Number 1, ¿saben cargar un rifle? Do they know? Do they know? Do they know how? Do they know how to load a rifle? Load, cargar, escrito load. Igual que road es road, camino, carretera. Road, load. En inglés, salvo una excepción que yo recuerde, solo una, ¿te lo puedes creer? La O más la A tiene sonido de O más U en castellano. Road, o sea, escrito road, road, carga, una carga, o cargar. Load, escrito load. Boat, bote, barca, escrito boat, boat. Abrigo, coat, escrito coat, coat. Carbón, coal, escrito coal, coal. And the only exception I know, I think, the only exception I can remember right now is amplio, ancho, broad, escrito broad. No decimos broad, 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 okay? But the rest, O, load, yes. Carga, a load, un fardo, una carga muy en mí. La vida es una carga. Life is a load on my back. Load. Y cargar es to load. Cargar. Ahora, cargar un precio, como cobrar es to charge. Ojo, charge. Pero cargar un rifle, cargar un programa informático es to load. To upload, to download, to load. Do you know how to load a rifle? Do you know how to load a rifle? Number 2, deja que los alumnos trabajen juntos. Let the students work. Let the students work. Let the students work together. Okay? ¿Qué harás cuando te jubiles? What will you do when you retire? What will you do when you retire? Cuando lleguen aquí, les mandaré a tu despacho. Cuando lleguen aquí, les mandaré a tu despacho. When they get here, I'll send them to your office. When they get here, I'll send them to your office. ¿No sabes lo que pasó? No? Don't you know? Don't you know what happened? Don't you know? Cuando enlazas la T de don't con la Y de you, nos sale una chu, chufla, chu. Don't you know? Don't you know what happened? Siempre tengo que hacer lo que él dice. I always have to do what he says. Why? He doesn't know what he's talking about. Why do I always have to do what he says? Bueno, lo que él dice va a misa. En inglés, what he says goes. O sea, en inglés no es que lo que él dice vaya a misa, es que va. Lo que él dice, va. What he says goes. But why do I have to do what he says? I always have to do what he says. And he's crazy. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He has no idea about this company, about our products. Why? I always have to do what he says. Él dice que estás un poco verde todavía. He says you're still a little green. Claro, todavía en vuestro caso lo ponéis al final y nosotros still en medio. He says que estás todavía verde o estás un poco verde todavía. He says, important. Third person singular, the verb to say. In the present tense, says. He says you're still a little green. Yeah. What do you think? Do you think you're still a little green? Or do you think you have enough experience to assume the responsibilities 100%? He says you're still, you are. He says you're still a little green. ¿Tú qué opinas? What do you think? Si no me ayudas, ¿cómo lo voy a hacer? If you don't help me, how am I going to do it? How am I going to do it? How am I going to do it? How am I? Hola Amaya, ¿qué tal? Amaya, how am I going to do it? If you don't help me, si no me ayudas, if you don't help me, how am I going to do it? I can't do it by myself. Come on. Well, you see, he says you're still a little green. And now you're asking me for help. Then I agree with him. You're still a little green. Okay. But if you don't help me, how am I going to do it? You'll find a way. Ya encontrarás una manera. You'll find a way. Oh, vamos a perder mucho dinero este año. We're going to lose a lot of money this year. We're. Como la palabra rarísimo. Weird, sin la D. We're going to lose a lot of money this year. Sus últimas palabras eran difíciles de entender. His last words were difficult to understand. Nobody understood them. I can't remember. It was difficult to understand his last words. They were difficult to understand. He said, I'm dying. I left all my money buried under the basement in my house near the what? And he died. He said, oh my God. He left all the money in a box under the floor of his basement, and then he died. And he didn't say what part of the floor. And his basement is 300 square meters. El sótano. So we're going to have to dig under all of the basement. So, sus últimas palabras eran difíciles de entender. His last words were difficult to understand. Estoy tan cansado que no me puedo ni mover. I'm so tired that I can't move. Hasta las agujetas, hasta las uñas. I'm so tired, I can't move. I'm so tired, I can't move. I'm so tired, I can't move. Enséñame cómo lo hiciste, anda. Show me. Show me how you did it. Incredible, I can't believe it. Show me how you did that. Show me how you did it. How did you do that? How did you do that? Yeah. Many years ago in our company, we had a teacher who was an ex-Olympic gymnast, acrobat. And one time in class, he said, am I sitting or standing? And the student said, you're standing. And then whew, he did a complete flip, 360 degrees. And the student said, now what am I doing? He said, you're still standing. ¿Cómo has hecho eso? ¿Cómo has hecho eso? How did you do that? How did you do that? I'll tell you after the break.
Hello, my name's David, and I'm here to look at class 105 Point 3, the part 3. So we're going to be looking at a translation list and vocabulary. But first of all, I want to introduce you to my student, my wonderful student, Annette. How are you today, Annette?
Fine, thank you.
Are you fine?
Oh,
Always fine, yeah?
always.
Tranquila y relajada, perfecto. Okay, so we're going to look at 5 pieces of vocabulary. The first one, okay, the first piece of vocabulary is a verb, to deserve. To deserve. Now, Annette, what does deserve mean in Spanish?
Merecer.
Merecer, merecer. Perfect, very good. Now say it in English.
To deserve.
To deserve. One more time.
To deserve.
Muy bien, en casa, to deserve. Very good, okay. The second word is necessity. Necessity. Now, Annette, what does necessity mean?
Necesidad.
Necesidad, very good. And what's the, in English again? Just repeat.
Necessity.
Necessity, repeat.
Necessity.
Necessity, perfect, very good. In casa, necessity, repeat. Very good, excellent. Number 3 is a very short word. It looks long, but it's very short. Though, though, though. Now, what does though mean with con la lengua? Though.
Aunque.
Aunque, very good. It's not as common as although, but yeah, we do use it sometimes. Though, though. Now say it in English.
Though.
Though, very good. Good pronunciation. One more time.
Though.
Though, in casa, though. Very good, though. Now the 4th word is indispensable. Indispensable. Now, what does that mean, Annette?
Indispensable.
Or imprescindible.
Imprescindible.
Casi lo mismo, ¿no? Imprescindible. Okay, very good. And in English? In English?
Indispensable.
Indispensable. Muy bien. Indispensable. And in casa, indispensable. Repeat. Very good. Indispensable. And the 5th word is predictable. Predictable. Okay. What does that mean, Annette?
Predecible.
Predecible. Muy bien. And in English?
Predictable.
Predictable. Perfect. 5 out of 5. Full marks. Okay. So now we're going to go on to translation list number 31. So what I'm going to do is just go through 1, 2, 3, 4 until we finish, until we run out of time. Okay? The first one is, very strange question, but ¿saben cargar un rifle? ¿Saben cargar un rifle en casa? Very good. Now, Annette.
Do they know how to load a rifle?
Good. To load. Cargar is to load. Do they know how to load a rifle? Rifle. Rifle, rifle. Cargar, to load. Do they know how to load a rifle? Repeat one more time, Annette.
Do they know how to load a rifle?
Very good. Do they know how to load a rifle? Good. Number 2. Deja que los alumnos trabajen juntos. Deja que los alumnos trabajen juntos en casa. Very good. Okay, Annette.
Let the students work together.
Perfect. Very good. Repeat.
Let the students work together.
Let the students work together. Let the students work together. Repeat. Very good. Let the students work together. Let the students work together. Number 3. ¿Qué harás cuando te jubiles? ¿Qué harás cuando te jubiles en casa? Very good. Annette?
What will you do when you're retired?
When you retired? After dicho?
It's wrong.
It's wrong.
What will you do when you retire?
Exactly. Cortarlo.
What will you do when you retire?
Very good. What will you do when you retire? Jubilarse. To retire. When you retire. Repeat one more time.
What will you do when you retire?
Very good. En casa. ¿Qué harás cuando te jubiles? Good. What will you do when you retire? What will you do when you retire? Number 4. You okay?
Yes.
You sure? Okay, let's go. Cuando lleguen aquí, les mandaré a tu despacho. Okay, let's do it at home first of all. Cuando lleguen aquí, les mandaré a tu despacho. Not bad, not bad. A ver si Annette puede hacerlo mejor.
When they will get here?
Uy.
No, when they get here?
Okay.
When they get here, I will send them to your office.
Very good. Repeat.
When they get here, I will send them to your office.
Good. When will, never. When will in the same oración, en la misma oración, nunca, okay? When they get here, I'll send them to your office. One more time.
When they get here, I will send them to their office.
And the contraction?
I'll send them to your office.
Very good. And the whole sentence?
When they get here, I'll send them to your office.
One more time.
When they get here, I'll send them to your office.
Perfect. Very good. Okay. And in casa one more time. When they get here, I'll send them to your office. Repeat. Very good. When they get here, not when they will get here. When they get here, I'll send them to your office. We're on to number 5. We're doing very well. Okay. ¿No sabes lo que pasó? ¿No sabes lo que pasó? A ver. ¿Bien? ¿Lo han hecho bien?
Creo.
Yeah, yo también. Okay.
Don't
Annette.
you know what happened?
Again.
Don't you know what happened?
Very good. Okay, repeat.
Don't you know what happened?
Don't you know what happened? I want to hear the T's a little bit more. Don't you know? Don't you know?
Don't you know what happened?
Perfecto. Muy bien. And en casa, ¿no sabes lo que pasó? Don't you know what happened? Don't you know what happened? La T inglesa es muy fuerte. Don't you know what happened? Okay, hay gente que no lo digan muy bien, pero es mucho mejor hacerlo claro. ¿Ya? Don't you know what happened? Okay, number 6. Siempre tengo que hacer lo que él dice. Siempre tengo que hacer lo que él dice. A ver, en casa. Very good. That time, very good. Okay, Annette.
I always have to do what he says.
One more time. Very good.
I always have to do what he says.
Very good. I always have to do what he says. I always have to do what he says. Says, not says. Says. What he says. Third person. Okay, let's go on to the next one. No, let's get you to repeat that one more time, shall I? I always have to do what he says. Repeat. Very good. Okay, now on to number 7. Él dice que estás un poco verde todavía. Él dice que estás un poco verde todavía. Okay, how do you say that in casa? Okay, very good. Annette?
He says you still are a little green.
Yes, okay, one more time.
He says you are still a little green.
Good, the contraction. You're still a little green. You're still a little green. En casa, one more time. Él dice que estás un poco verde todavía. Very good. He says you're still a little green. A little green. Very good. Now, there are still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sentences left, but unfortunately, we've run out of time. So I have to say goodbye. Thank you very much, Annette.
You're welcome.
And I'll see you next time at home. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
All right. Class 105. We have finished another class. We have moved one more step in the right direction. I'm optimistic. And you? Are you optimistic? Are you optimistic about the future? Are you optimistic about your English? Are you optimistic about life in general? Are you optimistic about the possibilities that you can have in the future? Are you optimistic about the opportunities that life can provide you? I hope you're optimistic because the fruits of life are more abundant for the people, for the optimists, than for the pessimists. The pessimists many times don't even see the fruit, and fruit is very abundant, and usually the person who enjoys the fruit is the optimist. So be optimistic, especially about your English. See you tomorrow.